We begin with some breaking news this hour. A woman's body has been found in a building on Clarence Street in central Sydney. Now, police investigating the death say it is not yet clear if it is connected with an earlier knife attack and pursuit in the city. A police source has told the ABC the dead woman appears to have suffered stab wounds. Police and ambulance officers are at the scene. Now, reporter Ashley Raper joins us live from the Sydney CBD. And Ashley, this is a further development here. Police investigating a woman's death.
Yes, Gemma. Now, this information has just come to hand, and it's understood that the woman has been found inside a building just very close to where I am right here, but we don't know if it is connected to the scenes that happened here this afternoon. Now, police updated us about an hour ago, and in that update they only said that they had one woman who had been stabbed in the shoulder and she had been taken to hospital in a stable condition. So this is still very much an ongoing investigation, and we are expecting the police to update us soon and confirm whether this body that has been found in a building in Clarence Street is connected to what happened here this afternoon.
And can you describe to us, Ash, what witnesses have described as happening there this afternoon?
By all accounts, there were extraordinary scenes here this afternoon. There was a man believed to be in his early 20s. He ran for several blocks through the CBD. He attempted to stab a number of people. He did stab one woman in the shoulder, and she is now in hospital. And then as he turned the corner and headed down the street just behind me near Wynyard Station, which is in the heart of the city, a number of just civilians, people, passers-by, they pursued him and then restrained him on the ground until police arrived. Police arrested him, and then he is now in custody in a police station a couple of streets away from here.
And police had nothing but praise for those bystanders.
Yes, now they have called them heroes. Some, or it's understood, were on their lunch break and just saw it happening and pursued this man and held him down on the ground. It's understood from witnesses that one man hit a man they believe responsible with a chair, and another put a crate over his head to restrain him and hold him down. And it's understood from witnesses that when that happened, the man that police believe are responsible, that he was screaming, he was in a very distressed state, and they held him there until police arrived. So they really stopped him in his tracks and stopped any more violence occurring here on the streets of the CBD.
Now, police taking statements from witnesses, Ash, but they've said that there are a number of crime scenes.
Yes, now the threat is over here, that's what police are saying, but it's still very much a hive of activity. There's a number of police here in the central place where the man was arrested, but there are multiple crime scenes throughout the city, and investigations are taking place there. They're also talking to lots of witnesses, so this is still very much an active investigation, and we expect more details to come to hand throughout this evening as really police get a handle on what exactly took place here. They believe that this was a random attack, but they are unclear of the motivation, and we're hoping to shed more light of that in the coming hours.
And this is in the heart of Sydney's CBD. What sort of chaos is that causing? Look,
streets around here have been shut down and there's a lot of traffic. There will be here, Wynyard Station is a transport hub, but we have heard from Sydney Trains that trains are running smoothly and on time. It is buses that will be disrupted, but this disruption will continue now. We are heading towards peak hour, and there'll be a lot of people trying to get home, and there will be a lot of disruption to that. So there'll be gridlock, we expect, in the city today as police continue their investigations at multiple areas around the city.
Ashley Raper in Sydney. We will get another update from you shortly. And we had been hearing in relation to Wynyard Station that, as Ashley said, it's still operating, that the Clarence Street entrance was closed. And if we hear that it has been opened, we will bring that information to you. Now, reporter Nicole Chettle is joining us now from outside St Vincent's Hospital. Nicole, what do we know about the condition of the injured woman?
The woman is in a stable condition. We understand that she was brought here to hospital in a stable condition after suffering a stab wound, and we know that her mother is at her bedside. Just to also update you with a little more information about the incident this afternoon, police have just confirmed that they discovered another woman's body inside that unit in Clarence Street at 3:15 today, and that Sydney City Police are investigating to find out whether these incidents are linked. We also believe that the alleged perpetrator will be taken to hospital, but it's not yet clear which hospital in Sydney he'll be taken to for assessment. He is in police custody as we speak, but we know that this has caused considerable disruption. We've not been able to get more information from the hospital other than to know that the woman is in a stable condition. But clearly this is causing an impact right across the city this afternoon, and police have again urged people to try and avoid that part of central Sydney if they can, and even public transport has been completely disrupted this afternoon.
Has New South Wales Ambulance been able to update the situation there at all, Nicole?
Ambulance were preparing to make a statement this afternoon, and then the ambulance officer came out and said that he was unable to give us a statement because this incident is being handled by New South Wales Police Media. So clearly police media is keeping a tight grip on information, understandably, because the investigation is still in its infancy, as an officer told the media a little earlier this afternoon.
Nicole Chettle at St Vincent's Hospital in Sydney, thank you. And we're going to hear now from police who have praised the members of the public who restrained the alleged offender.
A male offender has produced a knife, and as a result of the production of that knife, a female victim, a female member of the public, has been stabbed. There has been, again, subsequent to that stabbing, a number of attempted stabbings by the same offender. And bear in mind, we have multiple crime scenes and we're in the infancy stage of this investigation. It's a serious and significant investigation, which I want to put out there, but I also want to put out there, most importantly, the threat has been negated. So the male offender responsible for the stabbing is in custody. What I can conclusively say is that male offender was on his own and there's no other person complicit at this stage. So the threat to the community has been negated, and I want to make that very, very clear. I also want to make it clear we are in the infancy stage of the stabbing investigation. There are a number of crime scenes. They are being thoroughly investigated by criminal investigative and forensic staff as we speak, and the investigation is ongoing. The arrest of the offender happened in very close proximity to where I stand, where a number of members of the public actually physically restrained the offender. And I want to acknowledge those people, those members of the public who got involved. They were brave. And I can only use that word seriously. They were significantly brave people. To approach a person with the mindset of obviously what this person did, with clear evidence of a stabbing previously, these people are heroes. And I want to acknowledge that. They are now helping us with our inquiries, as are a number of people and a number of members of the community. As I said, the investigation is in its infancy. There's a lot to be done. These people, these members of the public, going about their day-to-day business, have jumped into a situation which was extremely dangerous, extremely hostile, and they have brought a person who we will be alleging has stabbed an innocent person for no specific reason into custody and allowed us to do our job. There are no other injuries at this stage, I can confirm. What I can say is, clearly, is that the offender, what we'll be alleging, has attempted to stab multiple people. Those attempts, thankfully, are unsuccessful.
Well, David Vaux witnessed the incident and describes how the man was restrained by members of the public.
I was walking towards Wynyard Park and this man came running around the corner from about 3 or 4 metres away from me, and then came about 5 or 6 other men chasing him. They were armed with crowbars, and one man had an axe, and another man who was a fireman, I think, had some firefighting implement. And also then a man with a news camera up on his shoulder. And so my immediate impression was that it was a scene from a crime show being shot. And but then that quickly turned out not to be the case, and the man ran down the road towards a cafe where some patrons there must have tripped him up, and they then put a chair on top of him, a milk crate over his head. The other men who were chasing him at this time then restrained him and I then saw a long knife that he must have dropped when he'd been tripped up. And obviously, all the people there were quite anxious, and but the man was then under restraint, and they then put the man in handcuffs and brought him under control, and then put him into the back of a paddy wagon. But it looked like there was a couple of security guards, clearly just people who must have seen this fellow stabbing people, as I understand it, in the streets, and given chase and just grabbed whatever they could to try to catch him. He was, I would have said, dark, bushy, unkempt hair, about 25 years old. He was wearing jeans and was poorly dressed. He had no shoes. He looked to me like a man who was in some distress, and he looked like someone who was mad.
Witness David Vaux there, and just recapping that breaking news: a woman's body has been found in a building on Clarence Street in central Sydney. Police investigating the death say it is not yet clear if it is connected with the earlier knife attack and pursuit in the city. A police source has told the ABC the dead woman appears to have suffered stab wounds. Police and ambulance officers are at the scene. The discovery of her body was made at about 3:15, and that was less than an hour after this incident played out very close by, with a man seen running through the streets wielding a knife and allegedly attempting to stab a number of people, with one woman being treated in hospital at the moment.